posted this video on TikTok today, TikTok at Neuroscience Sports, and it was about Kobe Bryant. And he said some really interesting things in that video. He was talking about how he has to make sure that he was talking to himself, right? That he wasn't putting himself down, and that he was being tough with himself as well.
If you play basketball, I want you to listen to what Kobe Bryant says right here, and then I'm going to give you an example of exactly how you can talk to yourself.
Be tough, because the biggest battle that you have is with yourself. And what you say to me, and you tell me what I can or can't do, will not affect me or discourage me unless I allow it to. If you want to get to your dreams and accomplish your goals, you have to be able to deal with yourself and stay positive. Don't talk to yourself in a negative way. Continue to stay on your path and continue to get better and better and better. But you can't do that without first being inwardly tough with yourself.
Kobe's saying here that you have to learn how to talk to yourself. You have to learn how to block out what haters and doubters are saying. But when people say just focus on what you can control, they don't really teach you how to do that. But there are methods and tactics you can use. They also say talk to yourself in a positive way, but how exactly do you do that? Well, one example, I'll just give you one example of many. You can start saying to yourself, rather than say, I hope I play well, you can start saying, I expect to play well. And notice the shift between hoping you're going to play well and expecting you'll play well. Now, if that expectation of playing well is also undergirded, has a foundation of a ton of reps, mental and physical repetitions, your expectation is on more solid ground. I love these quotes by Kobe Bryant. He was a master not just of the physical game of basketball, but also the mental game. And if he's worried about how you talk to yourself and he's watching his inner dialogue, you should too.
So check that out. I put this video of Kobe on there today, and it's really interesting to hear him talk about what he believes as far as the mental aspect of the game goes. To think about the way he thought about the game, how you couldn't let people get into your head. And it applies to life. You can't, like the haters and doubters, you can prove them wrong. That's one way you handle haters and doubters. The other way is to ignore them, right? The other thing you have to do is the hater and doubter inside your own head, the voice within you that doesn't think it's possible for you to do something. Kobe talks about how you have to shut that up. You have to deal with the negative thoughts that you have in your mind. What's up, Assad? How's it going, man? So the power of somebody like Kobe saying that, talking about focusing on the mental game, the power of that is, okay, this is somebody who's achieved at the highest levels. This isn't just BS. This isn't just like, me telling you to train your mind. It's somebody who's like at the peak. And he's talking about the importance of making sure your mind is trained. And to watch that inner dialogue, to watch how you talk to yourself. Because there's always this ongoing conversation within you. I mean, you think you're one person, right? Everybody thinks that. But in reality, you have this conversation going on with different parts of you. You could break it down into like two parts of you, really. You have the small self, the self that is kind of like weak and vulnerable, and like not vulnerable in a good way, but like really down, like unsure of him or herself, that part of you. And then that part can get really loud. The small self can have a very big mouth and start to make you think that you don't have what it takes, that you can't make it, they can't handle it, all the things the small self says. But then there's the big self. The big self can kind of have a quiet voice. And you got to, in this dialogue, you got to coax that big voice, the big self, to have a big voice as well. You got to get it to talk. And that's what Kobe was talking about in that video. He was talking about making sure that you actually are having a conversation with yourself that improves you, that lifts you up, that inspires you. So anyway, it's on Neuroscience Sports on TikTok, and I think it's on the Basketball Brain Instagram. You can hear Kobe talk about it. It's really, really interesting.